Yesterday, we talked about some of the Marvel stuff that came out of D23, but there was also some Star Wars stuff, including the first look at Ahsoka Season 2 to debut in 2027. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure we saw Ahsoka Season 1 in 2023.
It's been a minute, yeah.
It's been a hot minute since we saw the first season of Ahsoka, and it was pretty poorly received. It was a ratings disappointment for them, and now it's going to be around 3.5 years between seasons 1 and seasons 2. A lot has changed in that time frame. Dave Filoni went from just being the chief creative officer, the guy who makes all the creative decisions, the guy who has his hands in everything, to officially the title of Lucasfilm president, now that Kathleen Kennedy decided that she was done and retired and stepped down. She was not fired. She was never going to be fired. It was never going to happen. And Dave Filoni's been involved with every fucking creative decision there for years and years now. But when it comes to Dave Filoni's vision for Disney Star Wars, I kind of feel like this is one of the last hurrahs. This is one of the last chances, because when you look at this Filoni, Favreau, Mandoverse, started off hot and people liked season 1 of Mandalorian. I think it was really overhyped for how mid it was. I thought season 2 was a disaster from a writing perspective, but people loved the cameos. Obviously, season 3, the real crash came down. Book of Boba Fett was a massive nightmare. The Mandalorian and Grogu movie just flopped historically at the theaters.
Yep.
And Dave Filoni's movie that he was supposed to get, despite them having confidence to make him co-president, they don't have enough confidence to actually give him his own movie. That has been put on the back burner as they see where everything falls after Ahsoka season 2. Did you watch the trailer, Jay?
I did.
Should we watch it?
Sure.
Tell me, Ahsoka. What troubles you?
That's weird. Can you go back a little bit?
I'm always walking by your...
You see that guy's lightsaber? That makes it makes no sense. This lightsaber makes, I don't think it makes any sense whatsoever to like what is that? Unless we're missing, that doesn't make any sense.
Look, the only time that I can think that I've ever seen a lightsaber like this in any iteration was a fan art contest at Lucasfilm. Back in like the late 90s, where somebody, a fan art contest where they did something like that. I don't remember it in any comic book or anything like that. We've certainly seen our fair share of crazy lightsabers and stuff. The first time a double-bladed lightsaber appeared was in the comic books in the 90s, and George Lucas took that and adapted it for Phantom Menace, and that was a huge hit. I don't really understand how this works, quite personally, just the way that lightsabers work in general. I don't understand how this operates.
I mean, you got to be... I mean, let's a little Star Wars lore here. You really have to know your way around a lightsaber, just not to cut your arm and leg off with a regular one. Now you want to add a little light thing in the middle? Like, what if he reaches funny? What if he grabs it, his hand melts off? Like, how do you even swing that around? Or do you just constantly hold it like a stick? It doesn't make sense. Anyway, I just wanted to go over that. Doesn't make sense.
So this is obviously a flashback sequence. You have a live Anakin and young Ahsoka here.
I'm always walking by your side.
Citizens of the glorious Empire, I have returned. I took an oath to protect the Empire. I therefore declare war on the Rebel Alliance.
Got a little bow action. Got a little bow and arrow action, Jay.
Was that ever a thing in like the old?
We have seen this shit in animation for sure. I don't know if I ever remember it in any comic book or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't either.
I mean, we've got a bowcaster from Chewbacca, but that's not the same
like
thing
a
as this.
lightsaber bow, though. Like that's,
I would say laser bow.
Yeah. Okay.
Out of vision.
Another witch, Night Sister.
What did you see? More.
The B-wings are going crazy right there. The B-Wings are going crazy on this Star Destroyer.
More and more danger than I thought.
Balin claimed to have knowledge of a power.
Master!
One that could end wars.
Alien?
A long time ago, I walked away from the Jedi.
This is your trial, Ahsoka. Take your time to decide. Are you a Jedi? Or not?
So
She's
this
not,
is
by the
what
way.
I have to say is that clearly they are relying heavily on the popularity of Hayden Christensen to try to sell this show, because the show is supposed to be about Ezra Bridger, right? Like that was the whole season 1, was to find him and bring him back. And he doesn't even talk in the trailer. Like he's barely in the trailer for like 15 seconds. So he's not even in it.
And that's a shame because, look, of all of these fucking characters, all these actors from the animation that's been brought to life, I thought that Ezra Bridger's actor, Amon, actually did the best job of representing his character in Ezra Bridger in Rebels to live action. I thought everybody else was shit, if I'm just being honest, in terms of the adaptation of what they should be like, what they were like in the animation to what they are like in live action. This isn't talking about story. This isn't talking about anything of that. And yeah, he's barely present in the trailer. You're 100% right about Anakin. And you know why they have to do this? I know that Clone Wars fans and Rebels fans, I know y'all don't want to hear this. Unfortunately, it is the truth. And that's what I'm bringing to you. I'm bringing you the truth. People don't actually care about the character of Ahsoka. The only reason people care about the character of Ahsoka is because of her involvement and closeness to characters specifically like Anakin and to a lesser extent Obi-Wan. That's the reason people care about Ahsoka. That's what it's all about. If you remove Anakin from that, no one gives a fuck. So they're desperate, in a desperate attempt to get you to pretend to care about Ahsoka, they have to bring in Anakin. Now, there's a lot of questions about this, like, why is Anakin's Force Ghost sitting here talking to Ahsoka? Why is Anakin's Force Ghost doing all these things while his son is off fucking up the Jedi Order, attempting to kill his fucking nephew, being a massive fucking loser and failure and a bitch? Why is Anakin over here dealing with Ahsoka? What about Leia? Fuck, maybe Leia could use some fucking help and advice. Probably not. I'm sure she's got everything handled there at the old New Republic. But it is such a desperate effort to shoehorn him in because people do really like Hayden and people have nostalgia. It's the last key left to jangle for Dave Filoni. And yeah, I like Hayden. I like seeing Hayden on screen. It's awesome. I don't like it in the Ahsoka series.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what but this is supposed to tie. So basically, season 1 and season 2 is supposed to tie in to the grand finale film, where Dave Filoni will get the Avengers together, allegedly like Mando, Ahsoka, Ezra, and whoever else he can pull in to fight Thrawn. Is that somewhat correct? Like that's.
I mean, I think that's what we all assumed, that Dave Filoni's movie would be kind of a big culmination of the Mando verse so far.
Right.
Where you get Mando and Boba Fett and Ahsoka and like all these, like this cast and crew of characters that has existed in the Mando verse, and it's some big thing. And you know what? If we hadn't had season 1, if we didn't think Dave Filoni was in charge of this, and if we hadn't seen how they treated Thrawn in Rebels, if we didn't see Thrawn being an absolute retarded bitch in Ahsoka season 1 and in Rebels, then maybe, just maybe, the idea of Grand Admiral Thrawn coming into the galaxy, addressing the Galactic Empire, and calling the New Republic the Rebel Alliance and all this shit, maybe that could actually have some fucking impact and be badass if you thought this dude could legitimately be a threat. But we don't have that. That's not the reality of this situation. They completely fucked up his character in the first season. I don't know how we're supposed to take him seriously now. It does look from the trailer, I think they want you to think that the season's way action-packed this year.
Yeah.
And maybe it will be, maybe it won't be. Maybe we'll have a ton of battles. Maybe this is all from one space battle. Who fucking knows? Got Hu Yang with his General Grievous arms out there about to take on Shin Hanti. You got a recast for Balin, obviously, because Ray Stevenson passed away. But I don't know, man. I do know, hey, Rosario's excited. Rosario Dawson praises Latino takeover of Star Wars as franchise hits historic box office low. Look, ultimately, I think we got to stop caring about who's represented and if Pedro Pascal is a leading man in something, or if we've got this representation or that representation, when ultimately you're failing as a franchise.
Yeah, it's kind of I know she gets asked this question all the time.
When she got asked it by some fat black activist, you know what I mean?
But yeah, the truth of the matter is Star Wars is in such a bad shape. Like it is just like it has been, and like seeing the Mando movie like do so poorly, like it didn't even hit our expectations at the like we gave it too much grace as far as our box office predictions, and it didn't even come close to that. And now, like you said, there's reports out there saying like Dave Filoni's movie is just going to be pushed to Disney Plus. I mean, of course, it's rumors and stuff. It hasn't been official or anything like that, but it's like it's just in such a bad spot. I don't think this series is going to put it back in the forefront of anything. But I'm assuming that people that like season 1 will probably enjoy season 2.
I mean, you would think, hey, maybe they'll pull something awesome, you know, maybe they'll pull something awesome out of the hat. You know, whether things are popular with an audience or whether they are extremely unpopular and wherever in between, I have never really liked anything that Dave has done. I've been pretty adamant about that, regardless of whether something is well received by the people who watch it or whether it's despised by the people who watch it. I'm always pretty much in the same boat. I really don't like it, regardless of anyone else's feelings. I can't imagine that Ahsoka season 2 will be the thing to turn that around for me.
No, I doubt it. I think it's just the people that like enjoy, like, because watching season 1. Even when Dave Filoni said you can enjoy season 1 without watching Rebels, man, I was completely lost. I didn't know who the characters were. It just was. And then all the comments that people were saying, they're like, you got to watch Rebels, you idiot. But I'm like, Dave told me I didn't have to watch Rebels.
Well, look, as someone who did watch Rebels, Jay, I can tell you that I watched it and I also did not enjoy it.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Now, I didn't really enjoy Rebels all that much either.
Ahsoka is literally the sequel to Rebels. I totally realize that. But I am saying that I had the clip every time someone came in my chat when we were reviewing it that said, you should have watched Rebels, you idiot. I play it where Dave Filoni's like, no, you can enjoy this series without knowing anything about Rebels. So that was my go-to every time. That was my go-to.
Every time.